A lot of people want to get into cybersecurity, but nobody explains the actual path. So in this video, I'm going to show you the realistic roadmap from zero knowledge to your first cybersecurity job. So step 1 is you want to understand the basics. The basics and the fundamentals of cybersecurity are the most important thing to learn. And I know you might be thinking, oh, but I just want to get into it and start hacking, but that's not the way it works. Let me put it to you this way. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Without knowing what the components inside a PC do or what they're for, can you build a PC? Now let me ask you, if there's something wrong with that PC and there's a component that needs to be fixed, would you know which one to change or which one to fix or which one to swap out? And before you get all cocky and start thinking, oh yeah, I could do that, now let me ask you the final question. If you had an issue with your computer and you had to go into the services of that system in order to figure out what was wrong with it, would you be able to find the service that was causing the problem, and would you be able to fix that? When it comes down to the very basics of what cybersecurity and hacking is it's basically taking a system, understanding what that system is, what it does, what the services on the system do, and then using them to your advantage. Without going into too much detail about it, let me give you an example. If you wanted to get into a system from the outside, you would have to find out what ports are open on that system. If you don't know what these ports are, then you can't utilize them to get what you want. Also, some people will be able to tell you exactly what services are on certain ports because that's the ones they will always be on. But if you wanted to, say for example, get a shell command into a system and you had to use a certain port and a certain service to do that, would you be able to tell me which one it is? Because at the very basic level, if I gave you a username and password for a system and said log into it, would you know how to do that? And this is why the fundamentals are important. If you don't know that SSH runs on port 22, then you don't know that you're looking for port 22 in the first place. If a system has obfuscation where it doesn't give you the ability to scan all of the ports and you have to search for the specific one you need to know that if you want to get into a machine with a username and password, that it's port 22. More importantly, once you've found out that port 22 is open, you need to understand that you use an SSH command in order to try to log into that system. And this is where the problem is, if you don't know how to do that, you're never going to get into it in the first place. And this is a little bit more advanced than the basics. So when it comes to the basics, the fundamentals, you need to learn how networking works, how routers work, what services run on them, how you can use that in order to get into a system, what operating systems have certain services on them, what those services do. So for example, Linux and Windows, you'll have to understand what they are and how they work, and how the internet works. Specifically websites and things, like how HTTP requests go through on a web server. And when it comes to websites, you need to understand what Nmap and Wireshark are, why they're useful and how you use them. These are the fundamentals that you need to learn first. Now we move on to step 2. Step 2 is learning the hacker mindset. And this might sound like a very simple thing, like, oh, you know, I want to hack into something and that's pretty much it, but that's not how it works. If you want to get into a system, you have to think in a certain way. An average layman would think, oh, I want to get into a system, so I'll just find a way to hack into it. A hacker, on the other hand, will be thinking, well, what services are running, what ports are running, how can I use those to make the system do something it's not intended to do in order to allow me to get in. Basically, the way a hacker thinks is, how can I use this thing for another purpose? It would be like an engineer or a techie taking a keyboard and then repurposing that keyboard to do something else as part of a bigger system. Or for example, using a motion sensor, using a sensor within it to do something completely different rather than sense motion. These are the kind of things that you think of when you're doing cybersecurity and you're doing hacking. You have to think outside of the box completely. And there are websites like TryHackMe and Hack the Box, which will allow you to kind of learn these things. Basically, when it comes to the fundamentals, Hack the Box Academy is perfect for you to learn all of the things you need to know. And then when you're ready to actually think like a hacker, Hack the Box Labs is where you want to go next. And yes, in the description below I do have an affiliate link, and if you do want to sign up for it, please click on that link because it helps me out. But that's not the point of this video. The point is that there are certain places you can go now in order to do these things. And this is where we move on to step 3, which is building practical skills. This is like understanding how to scan networks, how to use different commands to get different information from a network by using like an Nmap scan, for example. How to find out what services are running with those scans and then figuring out how to exploit those vulnerabilities. And this is why I said hack the box is perfect, because it's legal to do it and you won't get in trouble basically. If you do any of the techniques of cybersecurity or hacking outside in the real world without permission to do so, then you can get arrested for it because it is breaking the law. But places like Hack the Box, they allow you to do it completely legally and they give you permission to do it essentially. Running through boxes on the website would essentially help you learn about different services and eventually figure out ways to breach those services and use them to your advantage. This is how you build practical skills. When I started off, I never knew what Telnet was. I never knew how to use an FTP connection to get into a system. And when I heard SMB, I didn't know what the heck it was. Now I'm fully capable of using these things to get into systems if they have services running on them, and I remember the code and things I have to type in to get them to do the things I need them to do. And this is how you build those skills, because you'll practice them and you'll remember. And if you practice more than once, you'll remember more. Like for example, wanting to log into an SMB client, which is a Windows service, putting in this line of code that you see on the screen is not something you're going to remember easily, but once you've done it 2 or 3 times, even trying to breach the same machine over and over and over again, you start to memorize it and you'll start to remember how to do it in future. When it comes down to learning cybersecurity, the biggest thing you're going to be doing is essentially remembering certain ways of doing things. You won't necessarily need to remember or memorize code. There's Word documents and there's like notepads that you can obviously just write things down on. I actually have a notepad file on my main desktop on the virtual machine that I use. If I see a system, or like for example it's a Linux thing and it pops up with a certain type of service, then I can go over to my notepad, and if I've figured out how to get through that previously, I can just refer to my notes and look at the code that I've already written down. Sometimes you'll find that you will be Googling and looking online to figure out how codes work. There are certain commands or lines of code that you have to type in essentially to get something to happen, and not all services operate the same way. So all of the things that you would use, it doesn't always use the same format for other ones. For example, a flag might mean username on one thing, like an SSH server for example, but on another service might mean something completely different. So you can't just reuse the same things because that's not how it's been designed. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also kind of understandable because these things were designed in different ways. And the other part is tools. How to use certain tools for certain things, how they work, how you set them all up, because you will have to set up new tools every single time you use them on a certain server. It's not just universal, you have to set these things up. And you know, once you start learning these things, you'll start to learn certain ways of getting into systems and services, and that's where you'll start to really come into your own in the way that you think and the way that you pursue things when it comes to certain ways of getting into a service or breaching something. And you won't always just use one service to get into a system. You may use 4 or 5 different ones in order to get the information you need first. One of the biggest ways of building your practical skills is by just practicing and keeping on trying these different machines, and this is why Hack the Box is perfect. Affiliate link in the description. Then we have step 4. Step 4 is all about certifications. These are optional. You don't have to get them, but they are very useful. You can have different certifications that you can go through to get certified to prove that you know what you're doing when it comes to cybersecurity. If you get an academy membership using my affiliate link, you will have the ability to enter into and get certain certifications through Hack the Box. It's just something they offer. This means that you have a much better chance of obviously getting into cybersecurity because you have proof there that you are certified in something specifically. There are attacking and defensive cybersecurity jobs depending on what you would prefer to do. Either way, you do need to understand how attacking works in order to even defend against it. And then we move on to step 5, which is building a portfolio. If you are on something like TryHackMe or Hack the Box, I would say that the best thing for you to do when you do the boxes on there, or you get into systems, is to actually document what you did, how you did it, and basically just look at the ways you breached the system. Write down walkthrough notes and things like that that you can use in order to figure out ways to get into systems, as well as show the problem solving and what your mind was doing when it comes to figuring out how to get into a system and how to breach it in the first place. This isn't just so you can look back at your notes and like learn from what you've done previously. This is so that you can build a portfolio, something that, for example, you can have a blog post or LinkedIn post or even like a GitHub repository where you can have all of your notes and information showing you're working through things and how you did stuff, and having documentation of how you breach certain machines will show employers that you actually have the real ability to do these jobs. And obviously if you're on like LinkedIn and you're posting stuff up on there, you're going to have people potentially look for you or see your posts and may think, oh, this person thinks the way that they need to, or even thinks differently from what I'm used to seeing. And this is why documentation is very important. Not only as a cybersecurity specialist will you need to actually document everything you do anyway, but you will have the ability to essentially show employers, well, this is what I'm able to do. And that speaks louder than anything else you could do. And that finally moves on to step 6, which is getting your first job. Now, like I said, you can be on places like LinkedIn and places like that, and you can obviously go around applying for jobs and sending CVs around as well. Realistically, the entry level roles for cybersecurity will be an SOC analyst. The SOC stands for Cyber Operations Center. This is a frontline cybersecurity professional that will essentially monitor, detect, investigate, and isolate and essentially fix threats on the system that will strengthen the security of a company. This could be through like cloud things or local things, and it could be like something as simple as stopping phishing emails from getting sent to people in the company, or blocking links that are known to be phishing ones to stop people accidentally clicking them. There's a lot to it when it comes to SOC analyst, but this is one of the entry-level jobs that you could potentially get into. Next up, we also have junior pen tester, which is obviously what I've been talking about, where you essentially will try to figure out a way into a machine. You will test the security, you will document and write reports to show what you tested, what you did, and what results you got from that. If you do manage to breach a system, then you tell them exactly how you breached that system, and then that's essentially your job. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and I think one of the best things you could do to actually start your cybersecurity career in the first place is to hit that subscribe button, because I actually do cybersecurity and hacking content that covers things like Hack the Box and how to get into Hack the Box, what Hack the Box is, and even some of the starting point machines, so you can kind of follow through kind of like a walkthrough. I don't give you all of the answers, but you know, follow through kind of a walkthrough where I show you how the first starting point machines work and how you can figure out how to get into them. So you can learn a lot of things from my channel as well, and this could be a very good starting point for you to start at, then move on to things like Hack the Box, and then gradually build yourself up over time. It is not a fast path to follow. You're not going to do this and get it done within like a week or two and then start doing hacking stuff. It is a long process where you have to put in a lot of time, and you have to put in a lot of research, and you have to do a lot of reading in order to learn the things you need to know in order to get into cybersecurity. So if you want to learn about stuff to do with like the starting point things, or you want to just know how Hack the Box works, then check out my video that literally tells you how Hack the Box works, and there will be other explanation videos going up to do with like Parrot OS and how the pwn boxes work on Hack the Box. So just, you know, hit that subscribe button, and let's work through this together to get you into cybersecurity if that's really what you want to do.